All right, guys. Well, we get asked quite a bunch of questions online that we compile and kind of put those together and wanted, since I had Julie for a few minutes here today, wanted to do a quick video and answer those questions that we see the most. What have been your most favorite family activities? So I'm gonna pass it to Julie.
Yeah. So the beach is one of them. Obviously, it's beautiful. We love going there and playing and jumping in the waves. And there's a lot of waves here, so it's not like a big swimming beach. It's more of a playing in the water beach and playing in the sand. So that's certainly been one of them. We had a blast at the Marble Mountains. Super deep steps, but just beautiful and a fun thing to do, and the caves and that sort of thing. So that was great. We really enjoyed the old town of Hoi An, just beautiful walking around, the history of that. So those have been some of our favorite things that we've done, is just kind of exploring those kind of natural and historic aspects. There's a lot of things we're really looking forward to as well. We've got these beautiful mountains that are all around Danang here, and we're excited to start exploring into them. So that's kind of our next thing, but we have to find a day where it's clear. So you can see right now we can't necessarily see them all because there's a lot of cloud coverage. So we're excited to go to Bana Hills. That's where they have the big hand bridge, but if it's covered in clouds, it's not as fun as when it's clear. So we're looking for a clear break to go and do that. But there's a lot of things to explore out there as well, so we're excited about that. Hanoi, to see some more historic things up that way. So looking forward to do a little bit more of that, so you'll see videos of that in the future, I'm sure.
So another one I get asked quite a bit, figured I'd take this one, is what is your favorite beer that you've encountered since you've been over here? And I know Julie enjoys this one as well, but hands down, for the price, for the quality, Huda. I am a Huda guy. I love it. If it's, you know, it's a great beer. It's a great lager. It's cheap. It's kind of the everyman's beer here. I don't know. Have you had a different one that you liked?
No, I think that's good. And honestly, I'm typically a wine drinker, but coming over here is kind of, you can get a beer for 30 dong usually.
Less than $1 usually.
So less than $1, but if you want a bottle of wine, it can be like 600,000 to over $1 million for a bottle of wine.
Yeah, so very expensive for some reason.
Kind of shift to a little bit more beer, but Huda is pretty good stuff.
And I'm gonna let Julie answer this one. What has been your biggest disappointment? That's kind of a big, broad statement, but what's been your biggest disappointment on your adventure to Southeast Asia?
I think for me, so I follow a plant-based diet that I've relaxed a little bit, but you know, back in the States we can get such a broad array of vegetarian options when we eat Asian food, and so I was really expecting that over here, especially pho. Pho is like my favorite dish, and I've had a hard time getting a vegetarian pho, and I really expected to be eating that like at least once a day, every day. So that's probably been my biggest one. I've gotten the most options when we're at a hotel, but trying to get it out at regular restaurants, there's really not a lot of options for that unless you're going to a specific vegan or vegetarian restaurant. So I really expected more vegetarian options at Asian-based restaurants or Vietnamese restaurants. So that's probably my biggest disappointment, is the hunt for all the pho that I want to be eating.
So another question we get quite a bit of is why Vietnam? And I think it's a great question. A lot of research went into us being here. Vietnam is the location itself, Danang, with an international airport, giving us the ability to travel to explore really Southeast Asia very easily and cheaply. Played a huge part in us being here in Danang. There is a safety issue as well. It's a very safe city. Vietnam in general is very, very safe. We haven't been in any situation here where we didn't feel completely safe, where the people were very welcoming of us. And then I think the third thing that put us in Vietnam is just the strength of the dollar here. So very much your money goes a long way, and because of that, we are able to explore and get the most out of it while we're here. So yeah, I would say international airport here in Da Nang and centrally located kind of put us in this city in Vietnam. The safety of Vietnam in general was a big plus for us, and the strength of the dollar to the dong. So people always ask me some of the strangest things I see. This is one of them, where people just burn their trash on the side of the road. Very normal thing here, so that kind of caught me off guard a little bit. And then I would also say the lack of napkins at all kinds of places. So kind of a pro tip is carry your own paper towels, man, because you will find only Kleenex, no napkins.
So another question we've gotten is what's impressed us most about Vietnam, and I think probably the biggest thing is the convenience factor. So the internet's great, we've heard that, which is true. The convenience of the Grab, so getting a Grab car to take us somewhere, food delivery, delivery of anything really, groceries, things like that. There's the Southeast Asia equivalent of Amazon over here. We haven't quite figured that all out yet, but you know, you have these conveniences over here which make living here easier, and so we weren't quite expecting that, but we definitely appreciate it.
So the other question that I've gotten this one a bunch, probably should have been higher up the list. How noisy is Vietnam? You know, I got to answer this because it's, again, I'm here. It's not. This is not a mountain retreat where you're hearing the birds chirping in the morning. This is a loud ass country, and it's fine because it's just the way it is. From 6 in the morning, you know, if you're near a school, they're going to be playing their music on loudspeakers. The kids are out there exercising. People are up early to go exercise as well. And, you know, loud into the night with karaoke. And you know, I bring this up just because you need to think about this, especially if you have a family and you're coming over here, where you're going to live. You know, is it insulated? Is it close to bars that are going to be open till 2 in the morning? You know, playing some bass. So yeah, I think the answer to that is it is very noisy country. They use their horns a lot. It starts early. Any chance they can to make noise, it seems like it's going to happen. So does that make it bad? No, it's just something you really do need to be aware of. It's I'd say this, I've lived all over the United States. It is probably the loudest country I've ever been in. And I would imagine probably the loudest country I'll ever be in my life. So just keep that in mind. Doesn't make it a bad thing, but it's something you need to really do your homework, especially when renting an apartment. Go there at night, go there in the morning, go there in the afternoon, see what's happening, see what you hear. You'll be glad you did that. How hard is it to rent an apartment here in Vietnam? Well, I happen to rent here. There's the Dragon Bridge down there. Probably see the head of it, maybe. But basically, it's pretty simple. You come in, you get with an agent, whether you find them on Facebook Messenger, on Facebook, you just post looking for an apartment with your specifics, like, hey, I want an apartment, great location, high floor, with a pool, with a gym, no more than half a mile to the beach. I think that's something that we wrote, and I ended up here. So then someone writes you back. It's an agent. Obviously, they're going to get a little piece of your business here. They put you in touch with the rental department here, and next thing you know, you're sitting in an apartment with the actual owners. My owners are very interesting people. They actually trade Bitcoin for a living, which I thought was pretty funny considering I have a little Bitcoin, a little crypto myself. So anyways, you meet these guys. They bought this as an investment. You sign your lease. It's in Vietnamese and in English. Very advantageous, by the way, for the leasee, I guess would be my title on that agreement. If you want to break it, you break it, and you forfeit like the deposit. That's it, and the deposit isn't much. So yeah, overall, and I can give you, if you comment or want to email me at familyandnom@gmail.com, I can give you more info on that. But bottom line is, getting an apartment, you can do it and have the keys in less than an hour. I'd say the big tidbit I'll give you, I was going to save this for another piece here, but one of the, well, I'll tell you what, I'll do this in the questions that people haven't asked part that's coming up here in just a second. But for now, renting an apartment, super easy. You just need to, make sure you have the cash. You're going to tour it with the folks themselves, and next thing you know, you got keys in your hand and you're living right here, and you got a door guy. So yeah, really easy. Overall, really easy. No red tape like you see in the US where I'm from. So more to come here. Okay guys, another one I get quite a bit of here is must-dos before I come to Vietnam. It's a great question. I would say this in a nutshell, and I'm sure there's other stuff I could come up with if I sat for 4 days and thought about this. But in a nutshell, if you're coming to Vietnam, get vaccinated, man. There's a whole slew of stuff that you can get that is not good stuff. And I would recommend you get vaccinated fully. We did get all of our shots. The CDC recommends certain things. We got those. It's not cheap. You can probably get those things when you get over here, but just for peace of mind, having a 4-year-old, we've got vaccinated for everything that could be potential problem. So got that out of the way. I would say do that. I would say the one thing I wish I did was took out more money and brought more US dollars with me, because going to the ATM and all of that is very stressful here, and it's hard to get larger sums. For instance, if I wanted to rent an apartment, I needed to have 60 million dong on me, which may only be, I can't do the conversion right now, but it's not a lot of money, but it's a lot of trying to get that money out of an ATM. A lot of them will let you do like 7 transactions of 3 million at a time, and then you got to move on. You're walking down the street with 20 million dong and you need 40 million more, so you're kind of like a vagrant at that point. So one thing I wish I did do, and I think a thing for most people, is bring more cash. I think I brought about, I don't know, 2 grand, and then I had other means of getting cash. I'll touch on that here in a second, but yeah, bring more cash. Bring like 5 grand. And that's going to last you, and that's going to let you put down a deposit. You can just go to a bank, exchange that, go to an exchange place at the airport, actually, at the Danang airport. Those people are great to deal with. You walk in, get a really good rate. You come out of the airport, by the way, and you go to the left. Look like you're leaving the airport. You go to the left, you walk down, and there's a couple money exchange places. The first one you see on your left is the one I would recommend. Really nice people. So bring more money. Get your shots. What else would I recommend? Try to sleep on the plane, because you're going to be whacked when you get to Vietnam or get to Southeast Asia. Try to get some sleep, and that'd probably be another do. If you don't have to fly like the cheap seats on the plane, I would suggest investing the money and flying like business class if you can do it with the lay down seats. You will get here, you'll have a 14-hour flight, of which you probably slept 9 or 10 hours, and you're gonna feel like $1 million bucks, man. And it is great, because when you get here, it begins. You're going through customs, you gotta get your luggage, you gotta get a car, you gotta come find where you're staying in this place, and you wanna be on your toes. So I would say the other do, if you can, must do if you can, is to invest in an airline ticket that allows you to get some sleep. Okay guys, so that kind of covers what we're asked about quite a bit, right? But it started us thinking too, there's some stuff that you guys should be asking about that you're not asking about, and I want to give you kind of a rundown here on these. So a couple things that you guys should have asked, haven't asked, but needs to be addressed, especially if you're coming here, and I'm glad we've watched other content creators that kind of touched on these things, although they may have been briefly, and then I was able to investigate because they've really saved our butts since we've been over here. So let me give you number one here. Number one, get a good international banking card, okay? Get a Charles Schwab card. I have been super impressed with them. Not sponsored by them or anything, but I can go to any ATM in this city that you're looking at right here. And it doesn't matter if, you know, I'm in the trendy, by the way, that trendy part of town right down here. If I'm in the trendy part of town or not, I'm gonna be able to use that card, number one. Number two, they're gonna reimburse me, Charles Schwab will at the end of every month, any fees that I get from using that particular machine in the trendy part of town, for instance. So get yourself a Charles Schwab thing. I have a regular checking account with them. It gives you a bank card. That's what you want. The Charles Schwab, it says a silver ATM card. That's what you want. So get yourself, you can do it online. If you need help and you're in a major city, go into a Charles Schwab office. They can do it with you. You'll be done in 5 minutes. You'll have your cards in 2 weeks. Then you can transfer money from your US account into your Charles Schwab account, right? And keep your money at home in the US, transfer what you need into Charles Schwab, and then boom, you're pulling it out via ATM when you need it, wherever you need it. So that would be the first one. Sorry, I made some notes here. Number two, get a Skype number, okay? Get a Skype number. Go on there, I think it's $50. You pick a number from your hometown. I'm from Florida, so I got a Florida number from my town. I can use that with my lawn guy. I can use that with my bank. I can use that with my parents if they need to call me. You know, that is an emergency number. That is one that I can get texts on from the US. I can get calls on. I mainly use it for business, and I'll tell you why here in a second, but get a Skype number for a year for like $50. You can pick the zip, everything, or the area code, everything. Get that before you leave town, and update all of your stuff with that number. So when you need two-factor authentication, when they're saying, hey, we want to make sure it's really you, and you're sitting here in Danang, Vietnam, and you need to transfer that $500, it's not going to be an issue. Okay, so you want to be able to get those two-factor authentication, and you can on that Skype. So if you need any help figuring that out any further, let me know, reach out to me. I'd be glad to give you guys some info. Yeah, here's the other thing. Julie brought this up. Get your credit cards up to date. And when I say that, like, you don't want to bring a credit card over here that's going to expire in December. Re-up it. You want 3 or 4 years on that credit card before it expires. It's going to save you a headache. Can you imagine being here, all right? You're here, and you need your credit card. How the hell are you going to get that in a timely fashion? Take care of it now. Get your credit card updated. Get a new one issued to you. If you guys use a joint account like Julie and I, get it. Make it say 27 or 28 for the expiration. You'll be glad you did it. Okay? Let's see what else I have here. Sorry, I can't read out here. Okay, yeah, vitamins and supplements. I take vitamins, Julie does. We give supplements to Kai. You know, he's a growing boy. Get those now. Throw them in your suitcase. Go to Costco, buy whatever you buy, and throw them in there, because chances are you're not going to see them here or be able to recognize them here. And that was kind of one of the big things that we were like, boy, we're glad we did that. So you know you're getting the actual stuff too, to give to your kid especially. Like, I take a vitamin, she takes multiple things, one of them being like iron, because she's a vegan. And then, you know, we want Caius to make sure he's getting what he needs. So load them in there, man. Get the 300 pill one, you know, that you can get at Costco or Walmart or whatever, and throw 3 of them in your bag, man. You're covered for like 1.5 years, 2 years. Okay? See what else I got here. Let's see. So vitamins, supplements. Oh yeah, here's a biggie. We use WhatsApp as well. So you want to use WhatsApp as, to communicate over here. So if my landlord has to talk to me, they're going to use WhatsApp. So you got to get WhatsApp. You can add your parents and stuff, people back in the States or wherever you're from on there as well. If you have older folks like me, you want to make sure they know how to use that before you leave. So install it, get them set up on WhatsApp a month before, and start making calls with them so they get used to it. So they know that WhatsApp is an app that they have to open up, then find you through a contact list, hit your face, hit your camera if they want to FaceTime you kind of deal, or just hit the phone if they want to call you. That way, if they have an emergency back there while you're playing here, they know how to use it and can get in touch with you. Super important. I've never seen that brought up on a video, and I tell you, I really needed to make sure I didn't do that. Needed to make sure my parents could get on there and use that, and was able to have another sibling who was visiting them actually go through that tutorial that I should have already gone through. And I honestly felt like a failure that I just assumed that they would know how to use WhatsApp. So mail forwarding, you guys haven't asked anything about this. One of the biggest things too, who's getting your mail? Is it your brother, your sister, your mom, your dad? I have someone that we have someone that we trust very much that gets our mail, and they'll send us some pictures, or if there's anything that's timed, date, stamped that's important, we get a phone call. We're usually talking to them once a week. That's on their list to bring up to us. So mail forwarding, who is going to get your mail? Very, very, very important. Let me make sure I didn't miss one of these here. So we covered Charles Swab, the Skype number, credit cards, and you want to get a good expiration going. We got vitamins and supplements. You want to definitely get those backed up. Family, WhatsApp, how to stay in touch. Do they know how to use the app, right? Mail forwarding, who's going to get your mail? Those are the biggies I was surprised I did not see from any of you guys. So please make a note of each one of those. You'll thank me later. You can buy me a beer later, but at the end of the day, that list I just gave you, super important. Way more important than how loud is Vietnam. I mean, you can adjust to anything like that, but if your family doesn't know how to use WhatsApp, you can't access ATM money, your credit card expires, and the rest of those things, and your mail isn't getting forwarded to someone you can trust, you're going to have super issues when you're over here, and it's going to be very frustrating. So we hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope it's been informative. Thank you guys for everyone who's subscribed to us. It means a lot. To all our friends and family that know us, that have subscribed early on, we love you guys, we miss you guys. But for all the people who are new to this channel, we appreciate it. We're going to bring you some great content. We'll do another video. We have just now figured out the full entirety of our travel plans, and we want to share those with everyone, and we'll throw a map in there so everyone can see what we're, where we're going to go, what we're going to do, what kind of time frame we're looking at. But we do appreciate everyone who watches these. Again, if you have questions, please reach out. I try to respond. I'm on there every day. I don't mind taking a picture for you, or answering with an address or anything like that that's going to help you when you guys plan your trip to Vietnam. Hope you guys are having a great one. We'll talk to you later. Bye.